For years, the relationship between Hollywood superstars Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez has captivated the public's imagination. Their whirlwind romance, high-profile engagement, and eventual split in the early 2000s became the stuff of tabloid legend. Now, after nearly 2 decades, Affleck has finally broken his silence, opening up about the shocking details of their time together and the truth behind their famous breakup. In this exclusive, tell-all interview, Affleck pulls back the curtain on one of the most iconic celebrity couples of the 21st century. From the moment they first laid eyes on each other to the intense media scrutiny that ultimately led to their demise, the actor offers a raw and unfiltered account of the highs and lows of his relationship with Lopez. Affleck's revelations are sure to shock and captivate viewers, providing a never-before-seen glimpse into the private lives of these two global superstars. Whether you're a longtime fan or simply curious about the inner workings of Hollywood's most famous relationships, this is an interview you won't want to miss. So sit back, hit subscribe, and prepare to be taken on a journey through the tumultuous, heart-wrenching, and ultimately redemptive story of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. It was the summer of 2002, and the entertainment world was abuzz with the news of a new Hollywood power couple. Ben Affleck, the Oscar-winning actor and director, had been cast opposite Jennifer Lopez, the multi-talented singer, actress, and dancer, in the upcoming romantic comedy Geely. "I remember the first time I saw Jen on set," Affleck recalls, a wistful smile spreading across his face. "She was this force of nature, this incredible talent and beauty, all wrapped up in one person. I was immediately captivated." The two quickly hit it off, bonding over their shared experiences in the entertainment industry and their mutual desire to keep their personal lives out of the spotlight. "We just clicked," Affleck says. "There was this undeniable chemistry between us, and it wasn't long before we realized that what we had was something special." As the filming of Geely progressed, Affleck and Lopez's relationship blossomed into a full-fledged romance. They were spotted together at various industry events, their affection for one another evident in the way they looked at each other and the way they moved in sync. "It was like we were in our own little bubble, oblivious to the rest of the world," Affleck remembers. In November 2002, just a few months after they had first met, Affleck and Lopez announced their engagement, sending shockwaves through the entertainment industry. The news was met with a mix of excitement and skepticism, as many questioned whether the relationship could withstand the intense scrutiny that came with being one of Hollywood's most high-profile couples. "The engagement was a whirlwind," Affleck admits. "We were both so caught up in the moment, so enamored with each other, that we didn't really stop to consider the consequences of our actions." The couple's lavish wedding plans only added fuel to the media frenzy. With a reported budget of $2 million, the nuptials were set to be a grand affair, complete with a custom-designed dress, a star-studded guest list, and a performance by Lopez herself. "We wanted to do something truly special, something that would reflect the depth of our love and commitment to one another," Affleck explains. However, as the wedding date drew closer, the pressure and scrutiny only intensified. Paparazzi swarmed the couple's every move, and the tabloids were relentless in their coverage of the impending nuptials. "It was like we were living in a fishbowl," Affleck laments. "Every aspect of our relationship was being dissected and analyzed, and it became increasingly difficult for us to maintain any sense of privacy or normalcy." Ultimately, the intense media attention and the strain of planning a high-profile wedding proved to be too much for Affleck and Lopez. Just days before they were set to walk down the aisle, the couple made the difficult decision to postpone the wedding, citing the excessive media attention as the primary reason. "It was one of the hardest decisions we ever had to make," Affleck says, his voice tinged with emotion. "We were so in love, and we had invested so much of ourselves into this relationship. But the constant scrutiny and the pressure to be this perfect couple, it just became too much to bear." In the months that followed, the couple's relationship continued to deteriorate, with the constant media attention and the strain of their respective careers taking a toll. Finally, in January 2004, Affleck and Lopez announced that they were calling off the engagement and going their separate ways. "It was devastating," Affleck admits. "We had built this life together, this dream of a future that we both so desperately wanted. And to have it all come crashing down, it was like a punch to the gut." In the years that followed, Affleck and Lopez both went on to find success in their respective careers. Affleck continued to act and direct, earning critical acclaim for films like Argo and Gone Baby Gone. Lopez, meanwhile, solidified her status as a global superstar, releasing hit albums, starring in blockbuster films, and expanding her empire into fashion, beauty, and television. But the shadow of their failed relationship loomed large over both of their lives. It was like this specter that just never went away, Affleck says. Everywhere I went, people would ask me about Jin, about what went wrong, about whether we would ever get back together. For Affleck, the experience of being in the public eye during that time was particularly traumatic. I felt like I was constantly being judged and scrutinized, not just as an actor or a public figure, but as a person, he says. It was like I couldn't escape the narrative that had been created around our relationship, no matter how hard I tried. In the years that followed, Affleck and Lopez maintained a cordial, if distant, relationship. They would occasionally run into each other at industry events, and they would send each other well wishes on special occasions. But for the most part, they kept their distance, both emotionally and physically. That is, until 2021, when the two reconnected in a way that no one could have predicted. It was like lightning striking twice, Affleck says, a smile spreading across his face. We were both in different places in our lives, both professionally and personally, and we just happened to cross paths again. The reunion was a surprise to both Affleck and Lopez, as well as to their legions of fans. But as they spent more time together, the old spark began to reignite. It was like no time had passed at all, Affleck says. We just fell back into this easy, comfortable rhythm, and it felt like we were picking up right where we left off. For Affleck, the rekindling of his relationship with Lopez has been a profound and transformative experience. It's been a journey of redemption in a way, he says. After all the pain and heartbreak we went through the first time around, to be able to come back together and find that same level of connection and understanding, it's been truly remarkable. Affleck acknowledges that the road has not been an easy one, and that the two have had to work hard to overcome the baggage and trauma of their past. There have been moments where we've had to confront the ghosts of our relationship to really dig deep and figure out how to move forward, he says. But we've done it together, with a level of honesty and vulnerability that I don't think either of us has ever experienced before. Now, as Affleck and Lopez prepare to embark on the next chapter of their lives together, they are both filled with a sense of hope and optimism. We've learned from our mistakes, and we've grown as individuals, Affleck says. And now, we're ready to write a new chapter, one that's filled with love, laughter, and the kind of deep, abiding connection that we've always dreamed of.